Maverick 100.9, Aggie Lands Country Alternative. It's Corliss and joined with Charity Bowden. It is so nice to meet you, girl. Now, you became a household name, I guess you could say, after your time on The Voice. When was that for you?
That was about 4 going on 5 years ago,
Okay,
actually.
so it's been a
Yes,
minute, and
it's
you
been
have
a hot minute.
and you have just been working ever since, even with a pandemic in the middle, putting out singles, putting out your records. And you even said you've got a goal of writing a lot this year.
Yes, I don't think I want, and I feel like most musicians don't say this, but I don't think I want to put out any music this year. I just want to write as many songs as I can. That way, I feel like the quality of what I do decide to put out will be much better.
I can see your view on that. I mean, sometimes it just takes time, and it's good that now maybe you will have that time to actually put in that work.
Yes, definitely, especially with school being online.
Yes. So you're still going to school, but you're
I
still putting
am.
out singles as well. Right now, the single you've brought to me today is Shoes, which sounds right up my alley. Tell me a little bit about it.
So Shoes is actually kind of my baby, and when you look at the title, it's probably not going to match like what's in your mind.
Right.
So Shoes is all about the way that I grew up. I grew up listening to classic country music. And so it starts off talking about all of that. And George Jones had a song called Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes?
Yeah.
And so that was kind of where some of the inspiration came from. Was I was actually I'm a huge, like, I'm a diehard Vince Gill fan.
Me
And so
too.
I was listening to Vince Gill, and I believe it was Patty Loveless sing at George Jones's funeral, and he said that it was his belief that they didn't make those shoes anymore. And so that was where the idea for the song came from. And I called up my friend and I was like, hey, could please write this? And he was like, oh my gosh, yeah. So I drove up to Muscle Shoals to see him, and we wrote it. His name's Mark Narmore. He's a phenomenal writer. Had several cuts. Gosh, Craig Morgan's had a hit with him. Shenandoah had a hit with him. He's just a phenomenal writer and an even better person than me.
How sweet is that? And what a way to pay homage to your heroes as well, because none of us would be working in this industry if it wasn't for their music.
100%. And I think that's why it's so important to me, is because I didn't grow up listening to the radio very much. I grew up listening to CDs. So
Yes.
like we would listen to Merle Haggard, David Allen Coe, Willie Nelson, like everybody, all the way to like Bob Marley. We just like listened to CDs more than we listened to the actual radio. Probably because there were only like two big country radio stations where I was from. But now I listen to the radio a little bit more now, trying to stay current and stuff. But the main radio station I listen to is called The Possum, and they play only old music.
Oh,
So
I love that. Well, we've got to debut it to everybody. So you're hearing it first on Maverick 100.9. This is Charity Bowden and Shoes.
Martina McBride, Independence Day. Her and I rode around for hours in my Chevrolet. My daddy sang bass, and Mama, she tried. Oh, to talk me out in Nashville, 'cause it's a long, hard ride. You're one in a million. Your shoes, it's hard to feel them. There's no way to hold a candle to those stars. Patsy Cline and Hank Williams. Lord, I'm glad I grew up with them. I got a little piece of all of them, and they're singing in my heart. Oh, but they don't make those shoes anymore. The old rugged cross, how great thou art. I got victory in Jesus deep in my heart. He walked the hot desert, and he preached down by the sea. He healed the lame and the deaf and the blind, the man from Galilee. You're one in a million. Your shoes, no, I can't fill them. There's no way to hold a candle to your heart. You said to love all your neighbors, even those of them that hate us. When we fail, you still grace us with your never-ending love. Oh, but they don't make those shoes anymore. You said to love all our neighbors, even those of them that hate us. And when we fail, you still grace us with your never-ending love. Oh, but they don't make those shoes anymore.
You heard it here first on Maverick 100.9. That was Charity Bowden and Shoes, and I've got her on with me now. Now, you said you're still a student, right?
I am. I go to the University of Montevallo, and I'm double majoring in marketing and finance. Hopefully going to use those to help me with my business.
Right.
Yes, I don't want a normal job. I want to continue being self-employed and doing that. So, but I am a senior. I'll graduate in December. Woo!
That is so exciting. Now,
It is.
I got to know how it all fits, though, because obviously you've been a musician for a very long time. You also did pageants as well. You did Miss Alabama. So let's see if I've got it all right. Like, you did a nationally televised TV show. You did pageants, plus school, plus still just being a current musician and touring. How does all that fit together?
Well, aside from the voice thing, I do it all at the same time.
Right.
I've been competing in pageants since I was like in the 9th grade. So
Uh-huh.
at this point, we're going on 8 years. It's crazy to think that it's almost been like a decade of my life, but it has been. And that has actually given me the opportunity to go to college completely debt free. I've been given somewhere over $230,000 in scholarships. So I have not had to pay a dime for school.
Thank goodness.
So that's how those two things fit together.
Although doing pageants is just as much work.
Oh, it's so much work. And a lot of people think you just put on a pretty dress and you go out and you smile.
No.
And you look pretty. There's so much work behind the scenes, especially with a pageant organization that has a initiative. Sorry, drop my headphone. That has a social impact initiative. So for me, mine is called Gifts and Grace, and it is all about using your gifts that you have to help other people. So I love getting the opportunity to go do any kind of benefit, whether it be for a local child that has cancer. One of my favorite things to do, I do it every single year. We're going on, I guess it's my 4th year. It's called Cancer Freeze, and it's at Lake Jackson in Florella, which is like Florida-Alabama line.
Yeah.
And I go every year, and I've actually had family be a recipient of it, but they raise money throughout the year, throughout this one specific day that they have their big event on. And they award usually it's anywhere from like, I think it's 6 is normally the number of how many recipients that they do each year. And they just raise as much money as they can, and they're all within 60 miles of that area.
Yeah, so it's local.
Yes, it's a local organization, and they just have my heart. Their event is coming up. It's called Cancer Freeze, and it's freezing for a reason because you are in February. You're on the lake.
Yeah,
you're doing a marathon, doing a car show. They ski actually on the lake in February. And sometimes it's really warm and like 60 to 70 degrees. And then other days it's like 30 and it's miserable.
But that's the point.
You never know what you're going to get with them. But no, Caleb and his wife, are just Jennifer, they're some of the sweetest people.
Right. I
And
love
they've
this
had me
coming
every
from
year.
the girl named Charity.
Oh,
I think
they're
that's too
just
fun.
amazing.
So do you ever see like a Miss USA in your future?
Not Miss USA. I compete in the Miss America organization, which Miss
That
America organization and Miss USA are different.
I did not know that.
Yes. So the Miss USA organization is like mostly model focused,
Okay.
and they don't have a talent portion.
Mhm.
And the older Miss contestants still do a swimsuit. Where Miss America changed a few years ago, and we no longer do a swimsuit. We have a social impact initiative. Yeah, I'm sorry, words are hard. Pitch. So like you'll stand on stage and you'll tell everybody what it's about and what you want them to do, and kind of encourage them to donate to your cause.
Yes.
And then we have evening gown, of course, and on stage questions still, and a private interview. So that's how all of our stuff works. And if you win Miss Alabama, you go to Miss America. And if you win Miss America, you are just Miss America. You don't go to Miss Universe. Miss USA goes to Miss Universe.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Well, I just learned so much, but that's your goal, huh?
I guess it could be. Right now, I was first runner up last year to Miss Alabama. So it would be an absolute dream to become Miss Alabama. But also, I have no idea. I'm just kind of good with wherever the good Lord takes me.
You're just still having fun doing what you do, huh?
I am. I'm having so much fun.
Well, we are so excited for you. I want to urge everybody, of course, they can go download Shoes right now. You've also got a few other singles out. So please go stream, find Charity Bowden. And thank you, Charity, for joining us and debuting it here on Maverick.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for playing Shoes.